Hey there. Some of you might know that I write a weekly column on communications and life in addition to hosting this podcast. And on this season of the podcast, I'm lifting up a few of my favorite essays here as short form episodes. If you like what you hear, head over to mission.partners and sign up to get these insights delivered straight to your inbox each and every Wednesday morning. But now, on to this week's column, A Better Roadmap. My first road trip did not go well. I was 17 years old and taking a day trip to the beach with my best friend. We'd never driven the trip alone before, and without the invention of cell phones, Google Maps, or GPS to guide us, we relied on our trusty paper road maps to guide us to the destination. Heading into our adventure, we mapped out the route, we grabbed the coins we would need for the toll booths, and we set out early for our 2-hour trip with a plan to arrive well before noon. But an hour in, we started seeing signs for buffalo instead of the beach. Before I knew it, I was scrounging around on the floorboards to find the spare change we needed to get us back through those toll booths, going south this time, and back on track. I honestly don't know which was stronger that day, our laughter or my red cheeks of embarrassment. All these years later, though, the lesson still holds true. Whether we are planning a road trip or a change of course in our organization strategy, the clearer the roadmap, the better the outcome. And yet so many of us get through our days without that clear roadmap at hand. I have heard from dozens of organizations in recent years about the challenges of moving from strategic plan approval to successful plan implementation. In many cases, after only just a few months, those beautiful and board-approved visionary plans start to falter. It's not because the plan was a bad one, but because it's really common to struggle with prioritizing long-term goals among a flood of short-term tasks. To help teams get aligned and move forward, we developed a tool here at Mission Partners called the Executive Roadmap. It's designed to turn a 40-page strategic plan into a 1-page visual illustration, inclusive of plan goals, audiences, and actions. The long-form plan still exists, of course, but seeing it all in one view can be really helpful to having that clear roadmap. And we designed it initially to use it as a tool to guide executives in presenting their strategies to their board members. But what we have found is that it literally becomes a roadmap for a time-bound portion of the strategy so everyone knows what the priorities are in any given phase of the plan. Since developing that tool, we have implemented it for nearly all of our clients, and every time we get a similar reaction. How helpful it is to see the map right in front of us, right? A clear plan on how we get from where we are to where we're going. Moving from complexity to simplicity is a really important factor in moving a big idea forward. When we know what needs to be done, by when and with whom, that daunting trip from here to there starts to feel a whole lot more manageable. We can start to feel in control of our plan rather than the plan controlling you. So if you're just setting out on a new strategy, here's a few key tips that can guide you along the way. First, know where you're going and how you'll get there. It might sound simple, but it shouldn't be taken for granted. If your plan has your organization becoming a national thought leader or expanding to new markets or engaging a new audience base, the outcomes of those actions can look very different. So take time to visualize exactly what success can look like and how you'll know when you've achieved your goal. Second, take it in pieces, bit by bit, right? If you're running after a 10-year goal without annual targets, you are very likely to lose your way. So here at Mission Partners, we think about the process of identifying rocks that we identify along the mountain climb. If our goal is to move $2.5 million to Black and women-led organizations by 2025, which ours is, we think about what needs to happen within every year to make that goal achievable. Last one, right people, right seats. Just like you would not rely on one driver to get you through a cross-country road trip, you probably shouldn't rely on one person to sit in the driver's seat of your plan. Consider the people who will be shepherding the various elements of the plan and how each one of them floats between serving as the driver and the passenger throughout the plan's implementation. It's a great way to ensure that you're fostering collaboration between people while protecting against burnout in the process. Bottom line, a clear and simple roadmap can do wonders to move big ideas forward. Start by simplifying your plan, and if you need a good guide, you know where to find us. We'll head in the right direction together. And that brings us to the end of this short form episode of Mission Forward. If you heard something that's going to stick with you, drop me a line at carrie@mission.partners and let me know what's got you thinking. And definitely check out some of our longer form shows on the power of communications. Mission Forward is produced with the support of Sadie Lockhart in association with True Story FM. Engineering by Pete Wright. If your podcast app allows for ratings and reviews, I hope you will consider doing just that for this show. But the best thing you can do to support Mission Forward is simply to share the show with a friend or a colleague. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you next time.